What's the real hardcore fundamental substrate? Most people don't know what substrate means. It's like we can talk about cakes, and we can talk about pies, and we can talk about biscuits. I don't actually like, I know I'm fat, but I don't actually like cakes or pies. Cakes and pies and biscuits and rolls. Ultimately, the substrate to all of that stuff is flour, and usually sugar. What is the substrate of photography? What are we actually seeking? Ironically enough, and it's not ironically, because Mother Nature is really simple, it's just that human beings are too stupid to listen to know what the hell Mother Nature is saying. Human psychology works no different than a magnet. What we think is attraction and repulsion is actually force and motion, inertia and acceleration. All light is an emotion. When people talk about composition, they talk about, well, I kept with the rule of thirds. I found a neat curvature. All of that stuff is important, but light itself is an emotion. And what I'm proud about is knowing actually how the hell to use a light meter and how to use all these studio strobes and like the 26 or so speed lights that I have. Those are far more important than a gigantic pile of lenses, which I also have. I could do a lot more with lighting than I can with really, 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 really expensive, fancy lenses. There's just no denying it. No denying it all. I mean, I could take the worst Nikkor lens ever made, and I will make a better picture, or make a better portrait picture, than if you choose no lighting. And we both go outside, we both take the same picture of the same person, same focal length, same distance, same lighting, the ambient lighting. But I bring my own lighting. I'm able to control the ambient, I'm able to drop the background, raise the subject, give definition to the specular, the highlight, and the shadows than you can with the ambient lighting with an extremely good lens. All lighting is an emotion. It's things that actually repel or impel us. Force and motion, inertia and acceleration. Light is as much an emotion. See, this rock to you is absolutely meaningless. This is just like a round stone that I'm holding in my hand. I brought this back from the shores of Yalta on the Black Sea. Now, these are for the folks that speak Russian. Прилетел на Аэрофлоте с Москвы на Симферополь и потом на автобус из Симферополя на Ялту. Автобус Симферополь на Ялту. Yeah, my Russian's a little bit rusty. Russian used to be абсолютно отлично. Абсолютно без акцентов. Ялта, Ялта. Какая красивая. Абсолютно. I was talking about flying in from Moscow to Simferopol and taking an avtobus, a bus, to Yalta, which is, to me, the most beautiful place I've ever seen, ever. There's a fantasy forest, by the way, in Yalta. That is like, you ever seen the movie Legend? And it's like, it's a forest that you couldn't even imagine actually exists. Yalta, by the way, is sandwiched very tightly between snow-capped mountains and the beach of the Black Sea. So you could literally be skiing 1 minute and 30 minutes later be swimming out in the hot Black Sea, hot Black Sea waters. So this is actually a pebble. See, that means nothing to anybody but me. You look at this, you see a round pebble. It actually reminds me of being in Yalta, which I wished I would be able to get back to. But I know I never will because it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. That's an emotion in a stone, which is meaningless to you. Now, you're not about taking pictures that are meaningless to your client or those you're trying to appeal to. You're actually trying to evoke either the impulsion or the repulsion, because both are valid. Like war photography, sports, action, drama, all light is an emotion. Okay? And if you think you're going to get it merely by the composition, which you may, there's two different approaches to photography. One is the smart way, and the other one is the slow and stupid way. One thing that I actually took from something I heard a long time ago is that I don't believe in working harder, I believe in working smarter. There's two types of hunters, for example, and no, I'm not a hunter. Two types of hunters are those people that get in the mind of the animal and they track it down, And then there's the lazy ones, and they go, well, this animal loves this, so they'll lay out bait. Like they make special bait for deer, and it's basically they even call it that. It's even called deer cocaine. Deer love it. That's actually what it's called. It's called deer cocaine. They'll spread it out. They'll sit up in the tree stand with their bow and arrow, and they sit there, scratching their butt, listen to their headphones, and they'll wait for the deer to come along, and they don't have to track it down. It's the same thing with photography. Light is an emotion. It's one of the key, most fun. You could take the most boring crap photograph with perfect composition, and it could be just as flat as a pancake. I was about to say flatter than someone that needs a little blue pill, but I was not going to say that. I was going to say limp is something that needs a little blue pill. I'm not going to say that though. Light is an emotion. You can either track it down and find it and bust your ass in the meantime, or you could spend, and it'll only take you a day or two, to learn how to properly place a speed light with a wireless trigger and blast to hell. Saturation, isolation, contrast. Ooh, to your picture. Oh my God, yes. I mean, 99 times out of 100 you could take any decent picture and make it look awesome with some good lighting. Light is emotion. A lot of things are emotions, but they might not be emotions to anybody else. You could take what you felt to be an incredibly interesting photograph and it means nothing to nobody else. This picture, for example, probably doesn't mean anything to anybody. Isn't she lovely? Oh yeah, that's one beautiful chick. That is my dead wife. Her ashes are about 15 feet away in the back room. That is my wife who very, 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 very slowly died of cancer. Wasn't she beautiful? Doesn't mean anything to anybody else. It's actually a beautiful photograph. It's kind of sad. It's kind of flat. It lacks contrast. Doesn't mean that everybody else would say that's kind of a blah photograph. And it is kind of a blah photograph, but it means something to me and it doesn't mean anything to anybody else. It's the same thing. This means something to me, but it doesn't mean a damn thing to any of you people. You have to be able to express something that is primordial regardless of the person. Okay? If you want the photographs not to pop in your brain, it's like, oh my God, it was so dirty and it was raining when I took this. Nobody gives a crap about that stupid, even though they should. They don't give a crap about that story behind you getting the picture. They care about the picture, okay? The picture has to be its own story. If your picture needs, a little stuff, like I was in the rains of Bora Bora and it was raining and I had like people that were about to kill me and chop my head off and I got this picture. If your picture needs an explanation to give it more breadth and drama, then your picture was dead. It's like... I think there's an old cartoon when I was growing up where someone's trying to sell somebody like a dead... Wasn't that it? It was a dead rabbit, or what was it? It was a dead cat or something like that. Yeah, it's like a dead mouse. Yeah, there's this guy that has a singing mouse or something. But the mouse would never sing when it was in front of other people. So he'd actually like stick his fingers underneath, he'd make it dance, and everybody else was like, yeah, whatever. If you have to like take your picture and make it dance to make it seem alive, then you have failed in that photograph. You failed. The photograph should be its own self-contained story. Should have a beginning and end. It should have the nuance of composition and of lighting. Lighting is an emotion. Stop telling yourself it only requires a good lens and good composition to make good photography. No. It's called photography or writing with light for a reason. You can either go hunting it down. It's like, well, even a broken clock is right twice a day. You know what you should be? You should be the clock that is working, and that you are making the light appear where you want it, when you want it, and you can say F you to Mother Nature when there's like cloudy and overcast. It's like, oh, we can't go out and do any portraiture. It's like cloudy, It's like, F it. I have an Octabox. I'm going to bring a power pack, and we are going to make magic happen, girlfriend. And that's exactly what you do. You go out and you make the magic happen. When you're a slave to Mother Nature and you're a slave to the lighting that's given to you, then you're no different than that naked barefoot hunter that would hunt down the deer. You need to be like the guy that lays down the deer cocaine. He makes the deer come to him. Sorry I had to use a hunter analogy. Some people are really touchy-feely about hunting Bambi, but it's a good analogy. Okay, and it works, and it's accurate. So deal with it. Don't be a total douchebag. Oh my God, you used a hunting analogy. I used a hunting analogy once before with somebody, and they just had a hissy fit. It's like, are you kidding me? Get out of your little magic fluffy bubble there and experience reality. Life is gruesome, alright? You know, some people live like in a little padded room. They made a little padded room for themselves, and it's like everything's soft. Whatever, people like that. People like that can't take pictures anyway. Everything's just fluffy. I only take pictures of pretty things. Really? Well, that's not reality, asshole. Reality is dirty and gritty, and it's just disgusting. Not always, but usually. Don't take pictures of pretty crap. You know, I want to take a picture of pretty stuff. No, I want to take a picture of everything. I like taking pictures of pretty crap, and I like taking pictures of gruesome stuff. Because that moves people. I don't care if it repels people or it impels people. Both are the same thing. In photography, learn this fact. +5 and -5 are the same effing number. If you are drawn in by +5 and you go, ooh, +5, it's no different in photography than if you're going, ah. If it moves you, +5 and -5 are the same damn thing. In photography, anyway. That's the math of photography. +5 and -5 are the same damn number. You understand? You comprende? Good. Bye.